What's going on, traders? Are you guys ready to get to some trading action? I know I'm ready to get after it. Got a little bit of an overnight short on AMD. Got stopped out on Nvidia, even though it got the bad news. That would have been a nice one to cash in overnight. Let's talk a little bit about what we can see in the market, what we can get into today. Live trading with Benzinga.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Who's feeling a little bit bearish out there? Roar goes the Bears. And we got Ryan Faloona. We got Zunaid in the house. What's going on out there, team? How we doing?
Good morning. Good. Good morning to you.
It's good to see you guys, like always.
Bearish. I've been feeling bearish every day. I've gone into my charts every day showing the same thing. I got the expected bearish move yesterday. I remain bearish today. So I'm on board with you, Matthew. Good morning.
There you go, Matthew. You see?
Storms rolling in the Midwest. I got my window open. We're in good shape today.
Yeah, man. A little storm action isn't bad sometimes, especially when you're working indoors, baby. Let's get to the action. Yeah, that's what it's all about, man.
As long as that power doesn't go out, Ryan's in good shape today.
Yeah, we don't got to go anywhere. We just got to go to the kitchen. That's about it, right, Ryan?
Already been there.
There you go, baby. Let's go. Let's get to the action. Let's take a look. You guys see NVIDIA down there. Of course, the SPY is down a little bit here. We did get some ADP numbers that kind of hit us down a little bit, but kind of in line with what we're seeing in the price action. Now, AMD, I do got a short from yesterday, and you guys saw me go after this multiple times yesterday. I was getting in, out, even getting hit on AMD once or twice. And that's what it's all about, team. I kept fighting it, got it nice towards the close here, and we're going to see what happens on it. Wanted to close some towards 95, and it's already towards 94.60s here. So out the gates, going to try to take a little bit of profit and see if we can make a run towards 93 down here and take some more. But that's the swing trade ideas today. There's still a lot of action that we can be looking at. We'll see what happens today. Will basic materials still get smacked? Man, did these X yesterday, Cleveland Cliff, get smacked. Be careful out there, team. It could be a quick turnaround. I'm so glad I got out of Cleveland Cliff with a winner, even though, man, that was a huge turnaround yesterday. Be careful in those steel names, and some of the oil names were vicious yesterday. MPC, Valero, big hard downturns in those names. We'll see what happens today, but I'm going to kick it to you guys. What do you guys got for us today?
I didn't.
You don't have yours? I got you.
Go ahead, Zunaid. You beat me. I didn't even share my screen today.
No worries at all. We've got NVIDIA up. You can see the pre-market lows after the comments from Google is about the 268.78. So I'm going to have an alert set right there to make sure that we can get a chance to go ahead and short this puppy if we want. You've got a bit of resistance here at 270 here as well. You can see you had support, crack, resistance. I don't know what this big old wick is, but you have another resistance, and now you're kind of in this range. So there's a couple of things you can do. One, you can wait for the crack and the retest of the 269, or you can try to go ahead and be cute and try to short it off at the 270 area itself and give it about maybe a 50-cent stop loss. We'll come back to this one and see which way I want to go ahead and play it. This one here on Amazon, you've got the pre-market high of about 104.30. That's close to the resistance that you had yesterday. And you can see that at the moment, you also have, let's go ahead and actually remove everything in life. You've also got this support area of 103.50s that's holding on as well. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. I would be interested in going short, especially if the market itself likes to be, it wants to be a little bit heavy. So you can see here you have resistance, popped up, support, pop, resistance. Now it's become support, and now we wait to see how it wants to go to the downside. So that's what we've got on Amazon. On Google here, pretty strong with the comments again. Like we mentioned, there's not much here that I want to go ahead and play on Google. But to me, if you want to short it though, however, the crack of 104 would be something that I would be interested in on Google. Ticker GOOGL, and there is my Slack that has me looking left. All right. Coming back to Microsoft here, you can see yesterday's lows was around this area of about the 286 area, give or take. Could be interesting there. But again, I think there are other short setups better than Microsoft right down the level there. 212 would be something to keep in mind if you're looking at Meta. Nice little run for a few bucks yesterday, but it came down and could not really sustain those highs. If you're looking to go long, 216 is an obvious level here because you can see that was yesterday's highs, came back down pre-market, couldn't quite get over it either. So keep an eye on 216 to the upside if you're interested in Meta, ticker META. PDD, we played this one with the whole Baba news and splitting it up into different companies, but no longer care to have this one on my list. You have Baba. Look at this. We talked about the $100 level. Once it cracked 100, this is a 15-minute candle, by the way. It's a 15-minute chart. Once it went ahead and cracked 100, came down to test 100 and gave you a nice $1.50 move. Now, what do we do around this $100 area? Something to keep in mind for me in case I want to go short Baba as it is. I believe it's gapping down. I'll have to double check exactly how much if that is the case. Snow, we talked about the one level 50. Unfortunately, it never really gave us a test of 150. Got to about 150.81 and then just zoomed on up for about $7 to $8 there. No real play here for me. I'm going to leave this one be, but that was an interesting one for sure. I'm going to just have an alert set around this 150 area to see how it's going to cook, if at all. And then if you want to play this one to the highs, 157.50 was just yesterday's high. Could be something to keep in mind. I've been waiting for Micron to go ahead and make a move to the upside. Unfortunately, all it's done is make a move to the downside. Matter of fact, if I go ahead and look at the daily on Micron, you can see, let me go ahead and crack this level out. This is the daily on Micron, right? So you can see how it's just kind of been in this range right over here, about $65 to about 48. Obviously, that's a huge range for us to do anything with itself. But the reason I bring this up is because you can see on top I had an alert. So I was waiting for that crack of 65 to the upside. Unfortunately, it said, yeah, no thank you. And a downside it comes. Keep an eye on $50 if we ever get there again. And there's my alert of NVIDIA crossing to the downside, I believe. We'll take a look at that. Let's go back to the 15-minute, adjust our scale here. There you go. NVIDIA is scaling or moving to the downside. We'll keep an eye on this one in case it does want to make some moves in the regular trading session itself. We talked about Baba. Let's see what else we've got. AI. This one, nice. If my trade station was working, I would have loved to take this one short. On the 5-minute, you can see you had a retest of $30 is what I was looking at yesterday. So you had $30. Hold the support, came back, retest, and to the downside it came. Not quite sure where we go from here, but what you do know is that this 2350 is kind of holding on as support so far in the pre-market. So we'll see how this one goes ahead and plays out for us. Something to keep an eye on, but I don't really have levels because so many of them have already been destroyed that it just doesn't set up the way that I would ideally like for it to. If you're looking to go long square, you got to wait for the break of about 69.74 to the upside. Or if you want, you can just kind of wait here. Let me go ahead and mark that yesterday's. There you go. And then, of course, you have another level right over here to keep in mind as well. So that gives you about a range of 60, 70 cents or so. And then on the futures side of things, kind of had this little trend line drawn, which isn't the cleanest. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this old puppy. Matter of fact, let's see if we can kind of adjust it. There we go. It's always nice when you can readjust things in life. So that's what I've got. Realistically, I'm just going to wait and see if things set up. I don't really like the way things are, but I'm not going long until and unless I go ahead and crack 41.3625 on the MES. Ryan, I'll turn over to you. And then if you need, I can come back to me.
All right. I got some stuff here. I'm a little disappointed to hear that you're deleting puppies here early on a Wednesday morning, but we'll go ahead and recover from that somehow. First of all, I'm going to start with AI, which is one of the stocks that you had left off with. You said you didn't have many levels because so many of them have gotten destroyed. And you're absolutely right about that. The recent levels that we've had in here have been absolutely destroyed. But if you back out to a 15-minute chart and you go back through these two consolidation areas, you should be able to get some pretty decent levels that might be in play here today if we have more downside on AI. Looking here in the pre-market, remember, Carisdale Capital came out with a short report yesterday, sent a letter to the SEC, the auditing firm, and the company itself. Company defended itself, saying that, it's just a short reporter trying to make money on the short side. Who would have thought that that's how it works? But in any case, we were down big yesterday. I think something like 26% or something yesterday. And today we're down another 4.8% here in the pre-market. So what I want to see here with AI is, where do we firm up? First of all, do we firm up? I would expect it to at some point, but where do we firm up? And if we continue to go lower, a couple of levels to look at here are going to be 2360, 2260, 2190. So about $1 apart there. And I think that if you get any of these levels to firm and you get the price to curl, you actually could have a long side scalp in here. And it might even go for 50 cents or $1, depending on how this is moving. So glad you brought this up, Zunaid. AI definitely going to be on watch here today. And then how AI behaves also is probably going to affect some of those smaller AI names. GF AI, we'll take a look at that because this was on deck yesterday. This was a stock du jour yesterday. Looks like we actually sold off. Yeah, or started the day before, excuse me. We sold off yesterday, really found a bottom. Now it looks like we're taking the next leg lower. So let's see how some of these other AI names actually behave given that short report. There was one thing in here that I wanted to go over real quick. Let me see if I can find it. I can't find the ticker. It was Rustam asking for HUBC to take a look at. I thought Hub Cybersecurity. I thought this was going to be something. Please, just 10 seconds for it. Rustam, I don't know what the angle is here, where we don't really have any news here. I guess maybe we have bottomed around this 125. If we can cross back up towards 150, maybe it's in play. No volume, no news, nothing going on here as far as I can see. Let's go ahead and roll through some of the stocks here on the movers tool. First one is going to be Buru. We're going to go ahead and flip over to a 1-minute chart here. This stock popped as high as 839. We've pulled all the way back to 585 here. So a huge range. I have 568 marked off as the bottom of this pre-market range, or at least where it held. We have a catalyst here. It says new Buru. This is something I've never heard of. Shares are trading higher after the company announced it has been selected by the U.S. Department of Defense for a position on the multiple award indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contract for high energy laser beams. So first of all, anytime I see any type of news article with high energy laser beams being mentioned in it, the science nerd and the little boy in me gets really, really excited about that. But one of the things to note here is that this is an IDIQ contract that is indefinite delivery and indefinite quantity. So any of the numbers that we see in here might not be set in stone. We saw another, I can't remember the ticker that we saw this with last time. Popped early on and then got sucked all the way back. So watch out for that same action here on Buru. Laser, exactly. Sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads. It's not so much to ask for. Anyway, this is on deck. It is moving here today. We have a huge range, but I am a little skeptical of this one. I would imagine this probably doesn't run out the gate. Let's see if we bounce anywhere. Let's see if we get this stock to set up so that we can make sense of a potential trade. Next here is going to be LMNL. I feel like we've traded this one before. This ticker seems familiar. This is Liminal Biosciences. They also have a catalyst here. Shares are trading higher after Thomvest submitted an unsolicited, non-binding transaction proposal to acquire Liminal on an all-cash basis. So that's a proposal that's not necessarily been accepted yet. And as you can see here, this is still moving. So I have a pre-market range, tradable range here of 640 to 729. Don't really have a lot of other levels in here. So what I'd really like to see is a hold of 640 and then a move through the VWAP. I think if we get that, we might be able to take a stab at this. Feeling pretty good about it. We'll see if that ends up materializing. One sec. All right. Next here is going to be IFRX. Now, I noticed a number of people in the chat were mentioning IFRX. So one of the things that you'll notice here is we actually are taking the next leg up here. When I had first charted this, we had a pretty decent range between 408 and 488. So a nice little 80-cent range in here. We are now starting to push away from the top of that range and the VWAP here on pretty good volume. If we flip over to the news here, you can see that LifeSci Capital and LifeSci Capital upgrades Infla RX. Boy, these names are really getting they're really tongue twisters to outperform. So we have an upgrade here. This is an actual upgrade. This is not just a price target readjustment, but it's from a firm that, I mean, LifeSci Capital. I'm not sure how great they actually are, but in any case, it's looking well here for the stock. We are trading up here. I want to see if this sets up here. I don't necessarily want to chase this momentum right out of the gate. That worked on Seco yesterday. We'll see if that works on IFRX here today. Next one here real quick is going to be ATNF. I know we're running out of time. I'm going to flip it back to Mitch here in one sec. ATNF, we've actually traded this before. This did pop as high as 274, pulled back about 50 plus cents here now. Looks like we're taking the next leg down. Same deal here. Just going to be real safe on things, not going to take things that look like they're going to break down. A couple other things to mention here. FRGT, we've definitely traded this one before. I think we've traded this up in a 6-7 handle. This thing's pretty thin, likes to move around. We do have a catalyst here. Freight technology shares are trading higher. The company reported the highest monthly increase in new clients since FR8 app's platform inception. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Also, the company expects 2023 revenue guidance of $36 million, representing a nearly 40% growth from the 2022 full year revenue. So sounds pretty good here. Let's see how this actually trades today. One more here is going to be IMUX. This was as high as 208, pulled all the way back to 170 here. Catalyst here is Munich shares are trading higher after the company reported data from the maintenance phase of its phase 2B Caldos 1 trial of lead asset. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. In patients with moderate to severe ulcerative colitis. So this actually a while ago, let me see if I can find it here real quick. This had an analyst rating several years ago of like $71. Yeah, Piper Sandler had a price target of 71. Now they've since re-rated that to 39, so they're bringing it down, but they still maintain an overweight rating, and that's still a long way away from where we are here today. So that's what I pretty much got. I guess it's also worth mentioning Palantir. I think Palantir back into a range that we've traded this before, moving around here. Company announced an expansion of its partnership with Microsoft. So that kind of is responsible for the pop here. And then the other thing from the overall market, I know we were running out of time. The overall market, again, we did get what we expected. I expected it to sell off this trend line. What I really want to see today is, do we continue to sell off and move lower, or do we actually try to make a move back up towards the trend line and the recent highs and then go above it? Okay, Mitch, you got anything else before we start?
Nah, man, just going to see if the tech turnaround continues, right? We started to see a tiny glimpse of it. Now I'm really going to go after it here. Bell coming in just a few seconds here, going to take half of profits on AMD here. Looking for a nice little move, but it's already giving it to me right now. So as soon as this bell rings, I'm going to pay myself pretty good at profits here in AMD. SQQQ's already taken off. Yesterday, I had that at like 20, I think it was like 29.60s. So it's interesting. The SQQQs are down, now ripping out the gates here. There's AMD opening here. Boom, just took 94.16, 94.14s there. Boom, that's how we do it there. Paying myself half of it. Now I can keep the rest of it break even no matter what and look for that downside action. And there it goes, AMD through 94. We got 96.57 yesterday. So swing trade, killing it this morning. Let's go. Got myself a nice cushion to start the day. Good. All right, stuff, so I'm looking for more tech shorts. So that's what I'm looking for. Success way too far now. We'll look for some pullback entry.
Well, that's one of the things I wanted to see out of the market. Do we actually trade higher and then reverse? I'm sorry, Zunaid.
You're good. You got Amazon to the downside, cracking about the 103.50s, looking to make a move. Currently trying to figure that part out. You've got Baba that went ahead and cracked the $100. Now waiting for it to come back and have a retest of 99.97, so I can go short about 400 shares. I got a chance to already trade Baba in the pre-market.
We got Buru trying to move through the VWAP here. I'm going to pass on this one. This one seems a little bit risky, a little bit more risky, but might be moving here on Buru. I'll definitely call it as we see it here. I've got the VWAP, what, 16? So let's see if we actually push through that VWAP. First, it'll move up off the opening print there. We'll see if we can take out the VWAP and move higher. I'm not trading this one, though, just to, again, be clear. Shelly, good morning. Did you miss Buddy? He was sitting on the back of my chair for a bit.
I'm looking around, team, looking to try to make some trades here. Let's go. Let's see what happens. AMD did go towards that 94, now bouncing a little bit. Could go lower there. Looking for some tech shorts. Just looking around to see what I can come after. Qualcomm doesn't look too bad here. It is coming down lower already in the pre-market. Rejected the VWAP at 121.50s.
IFRX pounding right out of the gate, right into a halt. So really quickly here, if we take a look at this, you can see that we actually did blow through that 532 level. If we zoom out, this was the second leg that we marked off in the pre-market. You can see that first move here was down, went right to the 486 that we marked, and then bounced immediately on volume through that level here, now halted at 562. So IFRX definitely strong out of the gate. If this is anything like what we've seen yesterday on some of these smaller cap names, we might have another upside halt here. If you're going to play this, be careful. There's nothing guaranteeing that this is going to continue, but we have definitely identified some momentum here early.
SQQQ's pulling back here. This looks interesting for me. If I can get it back there towards like 30.05 or 30.10 here on pullbacks, but it needs to pull back here. We'll see if it gets far enough for me to attack it.
FRGT, this is Freight Technologies, FRGT. We have pushed now through that 209. We did go through the VWAP. Looks like we're battling here a little bit. Remember, 239, 240 going to be that high. This might be in play if we can hold here and move higher on FRGT. Now, Buru moving up here. Let me go back to that. God, these tickers, man, it almost sounds like a joke. Buru. I mean, it's I don't know what to say.
You clown out there, guys.
Okay, let's see.
All right.
I'm waiting for SPY to break the 407.50, so still kind of just hanging out in the range. Nothing
I don't know
really
if I
much
can
here for
trade
me.
Johnson & Johnson today. I'm kind of a
Buru going,
little talc powder upset there. I need to powder my opinion on Johnson & Johnson.
Buru going. My opinion on J&J is that if they only settle for 8.9 billion, that's actually pretty cheap for them. So
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So,
and that's the best part. That money over 25 years. That's such a discount.
yeah.
That's such a discount. Like if it was like where they got to pay that this year, Ryan, I'd be like, okay, kind of makes sense, right? No, 25 years. I feel bad for the people that are in that lawsuit. But I won't trade Johnson & Johnson, but I don't mean I can't trade like a Bristol Myers. SQQQ's going higher there already. EMD looking like it wants to reject the VWAP there. I'm looking for trades out there. NVIDIA bounced a little bit, went to 270, now right at VWAP. Will we see rejection on NVIDIA right back down here? That's what I'm looking at. How's Apple to start the gates here, trying to bounce a little bit, trying to get into the green. Microsoft going back down here. We'll see if it cuts through the opening price. Google had that good news with the NVIDIA mentioned, but taking a beating right now. And so that's interesting to see that get hit. That makes me want to come after NVIDIA here. But it is going lower.
I'm short Baba here, 400 shares at 99.97.
Q's moving lower here.
Got you up, bro.
Appreciate it. I'm going to look to get about 20 cents if I can.
Snow giving me an alert here, but for the downside action. Yeah, Snow getting hit hard here. So we could look at, you know what we could look at today? Sark. Sarking it, man. Sark looks interesting for me today. Pullbacks towards like below 4150s. That's what I'll be looking for in the Sark. Some of these stocks that have been really strong could start getting weak. So just be careful out there, team. I am seeing a lot of weakness around.
Come on, let's see what we got. Let's go ahead and have one over here.
I'm looking right now at INTC.
Intel. Ooh.
But
what is Mitch doing with Intel is the question.
I'm trying to short this bad boy.
Becca's asking Ryan, did you talk ATNF yet? Yes. So that was actually part of the setup here. I hadn't checked it since the open though. So good shout here because we're actually moving up. And actually this is looking pretty good. So we pushed through. What?
No, you're good. I'm just watching AMD just take.
Oh, okay.
Take lower. Take
Look,
lower.
last week when I was in
I'm
the office,
excited.
we had
I'm
a little
excited.
thing with voices. I don't want it to happen again. I want to stand. Oh man. Anyway,
I
that
hear
was funny.
voices.
That was funny. Did I ever tell you what happened with that? Anyway,
You figured it out.
back to the actual trade here. ATNF, this actually looks pretty good here. I didn't have the bounce level marked off as a level. I had 223, 222-ish. The nice thing here is that we actually pushed through that and kind of back tested it a little bit. And then the next step was that we pushed through VWAP. Now that we're up here on ATNF, I think these are likely going to be resistance points right in here. So we're approaching that 248 resistance. These are going to be your next levels here on ATNF. Good spot, though. I hadn't checked it from the open. That's now leading on the relative volume scanner. Let's go.
Let's go.
Grr. This is actually a ticker. Grr. Oh, this might be my new favorite.
Oh
stock.
my God.
This
no
might
way.
be my new favorite stock, folks.
No
we
way.
need to come up. We need to come,
Oh, I'm already starting the gifts.
I was gonna say I'm already the wheels are already turning. I want this to turn into a winning trade, please. That would be sweet. Let's see if we can actually break this 343 to the upside. What does this company even do? Gorilla Technologies. Grr. That's
Stopped
awesome.
out on Baba. Let's see where it is.
Uh-oh. It's a provider of video intelligence, Internet of Things, security, edge, AI, data analytics.
Does he like really bad burritos?
What?
That was what? I didn't get it.
People don't know what Grr.
Like your
Invader
stomach?
Zim, man. Invader Zim.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah,
Never
I have no
seen
idea
it.
what you're
I'm an
Baba,
old man.
I got stopped out. Someone just asked me. Oh, looks like there's one little share there. Unfortunately, I did get stopped out. My stop loss was about 126, and it went all the way to about 146s, and now it's coming back down. So thank you, Baba. Appreciate you. As it went ahead and stopped me out, and now, oh my God, are you? It's all right. It's okay. These things happen. But nonetheless, Baba did get stopped out.
Let's see.
I'm like fighting with myself to not trade this based solely on the ticker, guys. Like I'm having a moment of undisciplined trader right now. I'm literally having an internal battle right now. I might just do it small. Hang on a sec. Yeah. Okay. Right here, 344. Really tight stop, 334. VWAP's going to be the stop. What I'd like to see is a move through 350. There's a tiny bit of size there. And just so I can yell grr and then close the trade for a small profit. That's literally all I'm after right here.
I mean, you're living the dream there.
I'm living the dream, Zunaid. Let's go.
AMD going lower now, 93.58. It's going to look to take some more profits into the 93, like 26.30 area, and then just keep riding it down. We're up about I'm up about 3% here. We'll see what happens if this can keep riding lower. Intel starting to go lower here. This is one that I'm looking at to short here. It already starting to make a little bit of the move here. So looking to see if we're going to get a bounce in tech first. I want to get into Intel, but I don't want to get in too early because I do think it could pop to 33s and then fade down. So I want to be kind of slower to this name today, but it's definitely on my radar today.
Grr was a SPAC. Okay, so I'm probably going to take an L here is what I inferred from that. Whatever makes you happy. I mean, we got to smile in the morning, right? We got to set the day off right.
So, yeah, and I can't believe you guys don't know Invader Zim, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm bad. Yes, Mitch, I'm sorry.
I'm not sure.
It was
the
just
chat
childhood.
You.
I'm surprised Nate doesn't know Invader Zim.
Why? Because I'm Indian?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Not even phased by that troll attempt.
Sounds like a Tarzan type thing or something. I've never heard of that.
That's what it is. Oh.
Wee!
What is it? Yeah, so
I'm gonna go ahead and grab.
Wee!
But real quick before you do that, I'm gonna go ahead and grab Baba puts here for try to go at it a second time if you will. I'm gonna grab $100 puts. on Baba as it's testing not just the VWAP, but also testing the $100 level. Currently have a short out for 99.97 along with the puts. The puts have been filled. The equity short has not.
All right, I'll save invaders in for later today. We'll watch them.
Okay. Mitch, your smile is enough to get me concerned here. I'm not gonna lie.
You have no idea, man.
I clearly don't.
Yeah, dude, that was my childhood days. Oh, Lululemon with a nice little radar,
Man.
putting it on the radar for me here.
Remember,
Look at this
370 was that short area we talked about. Button up against that now.
Yeah, we're right back to it. Nike was strong yesterday. Nike's a little pullback today. What was the other one that had news in this area today? On. Someone stepped up and actually, I think, put a negative rating on this.
It was a downgrade, I believe. Here, I'll go ahead and check it. Let me just watch GUR here, just in case I don't get smoked.
GUR.
Well, I changed the ticker, but let me get that. Let me grab that for you.
No worries. GUR looks interesting. It looks like it wants 350.
That's what I'm hoping for. I need to break that 350. Okay, Bear downgraded on holdings to neutral and announced a $33 price target. So price target readjustment and a downgrade. Let's go back to GUR. Figure this out.
Yeah, it's FedEx doing well today after their mention of their dividend raise. That's a good mention in the chat. We're keeping an eye on the SPY is coming back right now. Qs are starting to bounce a little bit. So happy I didn't go too crazy going really quickly into Intel there. Gonna wait to see what happens. If we could get a bounce here, AMD's even bouncing, NVIDIA's. Actually, NVIDIA's on the low there. That was a nice little VWAP, little fake out bull move to the upside there in NVIDIA. We'll look to see if it comes back on the day.
Yeah, NVIDIA went in and tested that 270 area we talked about, which was resistance in the pre-market. By the way, Baba did go ahead and get filled on the 99.97 short on the equity side. Currently in the money by about 10 cents, which is nothing to write home about, but nonetheless, I'm looking for about 99.60s to go ahead and close out this trade.
It's not a bad outlook. I can see it there. That's for sure. See what you're going after it too. And at least you know you're out, right? I mean, it's kind of obvious here.
Yep. There we go. Come on. We got the 99.66. All right. I'm going to go ahead and close out the equity side of things at 99.70. Still got the puts.
Amazon pulling back significantly today. That tells me a little bit something. Apple red today. Also Google red today. Is Microsoft red? Yeah. This doesn't look like a really strong day. That's for sure. We'll start to see tech turn around, I feel like, here. And I'm looking at Microsoft short potentially here on a little bit of a pop.
Come on down, baby.
I'm actually taking a little
PMI
bit here.
52.6 versus 53.8 estimate. The S&P Global Composite PMI for March 52.3 versus the 53.3 expected.
Little starter there in Microsoft short.
Let's go, GUR. Let's go. Pop this 360. We'll start with a dub. They brought a little bit of a bid in right above 350 when they ended up clearing 350 out. So let's see. Here we go. 359. Just give me a pop. Just give me a pop, bro.
So a really small starter there in Microsoft at 285.77s. Looking to see if this wipes out towards the 285s here.
There's 359. Just need a pop above.
I'll look for AMD to go lower also with this move here. There you go. Now look for the Qs to kind of flush down here. There's the Qs coming down towards the low. Looking for that tech turnaround. I've talked about it this morning. Let's see what happens. See if we actually can see that. The bigger boys are showing me that with NVIDIA leading the way. Now down about 7.46% from the open. ASML now down big to the semiconductor equipment stocks. So I also said about Lam Research. That's LCRX. Lam is LRCX. That one was one that I was looking for potentially a short opportunity, but this is a really expensive stock. So I'd probably have to look at this a little bit differently, but definitely big pullback now.
What is not expensive is Baba's. That one just dropped about 70 cents from our fill at about 99.97. We did go out and get out of the equity side of things. Now I'm looking at the options contract. I have a limit order out to sell at $2. Currently trading about 184 on the ask. I have a limit order out to sell at $2, and then I'm going to go ahead and put another one to sell at about 225 if we can go ahead and get that. Something to keep in mind is going to be the $99 area and see how that one goes. Let me go ahead and head to my charts because that's not where I'm at. There we go. All right, here's 99.19. Come on. That is the day's low. Do we go ahead and break it? The low a day that I currently have is about 99.15s. Come on.
I like the Intel. It went up there to 32.90s, but I'm going to leave it alone for right now. Just taking a look at the Microsoft trade. It went down there to 285.28. So I want to see it take out 285 and then just start breaking down.
YS.
Here it comes on Microsoft down to 285.20s there. We're looking good. And on AMD's next move, I'll probably be able to take some profits on that. As we get a little bit higher than, let's say, 5%, I'll be able to take some more gain. There's Microsoft 285.09 now on the bid on 285s. Let's see if we can get through there.
YS, nice little call there. The 150, 154 was a nice area to go long just because you can see support from yesterday, but also the previous close of 154. If you've been watching the show, you know I like that.
Boom.
You've also got the break of 180. You can wait for the retest at that 180 because you will have VWAP support near that area as well. And you can see, matter of fact, if you continue looking left, you've got support that ended up being resistance. Resistance now popped up. Now that should hold on to support as you're looking for a $2 break here on YS. There's 2 touching 2, 198 coming down a couple of pennies, but 2 break could be imminent.
Q's hitting new lows here.
Yep, and that's a nice little move for my down tech outlook here. So we're looking great in that as we start seeing the big boys even drop. And AMD there hitting my next profit target at 93.26 there. Not bad at all. I'll take that. We are working our way on AMD and making a hell of a nice profit there. So can't be mad at all on that AMD move. Really nice profits on AMD today. Look at that going lower.
Yeah, nice. That was a nice trade, Mitch.
And then Microsoft hasn't been bad either. I don't normally take like a little bit chase trades. What I mean by chase trade for me is shorting off support versus shorting on resistance. Normally I short on resistance. Let's just be honest.
But are you talking about shorting off like a break of support, Mitch?
Yeah, I don't normally do it. I normally don't do it, Ryan. And I chase this one. I call it a little bit more of a chase for me because whenever I go after that normally I'm shorting it here like at 286. But I could see this one breaking down, and it could be a fast move here. So that's what I'm looking for, like a hard breakdown on the Qs. Let's see if we can continue to get it. Let's look at the hourly levels. Where do we not want to see it recover? Hourly support. Hourly support for me is close towards like 317.66. So next level that I want to see it go towards is around 316.35s. Let's see if this continues and doesn't come back to VWAP. Recovery of VWAP is when we got to be worried about like the squeeze coming back into the tech names. We'll see what happens.
Good morning, Judge. Real quickly, stopped out on GER. So one of the things that you can see here is that we actually butted right up to that 359. So this is still the spot. Now this might end up clearing out. I took a very small position size because of the name here, GER. Now it's GER. I'm upset that the trade didn't work. So we'll see if this sets back up. 335. Look, you can see here, it's just kind of dancing around the VWAP. When we get another setup, we'll get back to it.
All right, Baba, nice little dollar move since we went short. Went ahead and sold majority of my contracts at $2, 194 and $2, holding on to 1 to see if this ends up being a all-day fader or not. But nonetheless, I would not be surprised if this came back to test the 99.50s or the hundreds. But for now, just one single contract left, and we're up about 18% on it as we got filled at about 166 and currently trading at 208 on the ass with the last trade of 201. Good morning to you, Rich.
Looking to see if we're going to get continued leakage here, or are we going to bounce? Because we could bounce, like we can always bounce, right? So let's see what happens here on the Qs. Do we go lower in the 5-minute outlook? We've had double lows right now, 316.81s, 316.82s. Do we take that out?
Also short on 3 MES contracts here at 41.22. Excuse me. Stop loss will be 41.26.25, which is right above VWAP that I have.
Q's right on those double lows right now. They just bounced there again. Microsoft coming back to my levels there. The Q's held those levels, that double bottom outlook. So I'm looking to see if that gets taken out. Microsoft coming back to my levels here and rejecting it immediately. Definitely don't want to risk too much over VWAP here, so got to be quick with it. If I need to get out, I can get out, but I'm really looking for a bigger move there in Microsoft because I'm in smaller size.
Stopped out on the MES contract shorts.
Market trying to bounce here. See if it ends up catching. IFRX looking like this might actually take the next leg up. It's like 587, 570, or 587, 590. Going to be that next spot up on IFRX.
Back at VWAP here, focusing on the Microsoft trade.
IFRX now curling. Sorry, Zunaid, curling off that 550. Again, this is the area that we're watching. Let me flip over to your chart, Zunaid.
You're good. I was just going to say, BABA contracts are up 22%. Feel free to
Nice.
do what you'd like if you're in them. I'll put it right back to you.
Still watching this for a potential break. GER still flashing on the scanner, but
Grrr.
BDRX for the penny players. IMUX, good volume here today, too.
All right, added a little bit there to Microsoft. So I'm just starting to build in here. This is kind of like swing size position, but just got to be smart on the ad. So I waited for the rejection. Then I looked for the next candle to open. And as it started coming back below the VWAP, that's when I hit it. That was the key there for me in how I approached the entry there. Because if I wait, I didn't just go as soon as we passed VWAP because it could have just spiked to, like, let's say 286.50 there. I would have got screwed really quickly. So I'm actually waiting for the turn and then trying to take the shot as I see the price action start coming back down. Let's see if the Qs can break those lows and not even come to VWAP. So you can see how I drew this line a little bit earlier, and this was a level that I'm looking to see if we come back to. And it's starting to get really close to VWAP. VWAP for me is slightly above it still. So I don't want to see it come back through that level. I want to see it keep trying through these lows. Going to multiple outlook here.
Jay, mentioning some banks went green to red. I noticed that Goldman Sachs did that. Taking a look at the XLF here, that also moving green to red. Well, I didn't see anything specific to the banks. Don't see anything in the options market, at least not yet. What do you folks think? You think the banking crisis is over? Wells Fargo puts, these are small, though. It's hardly even worth mentioning. Sorry.
It's just going to be all about how quickly the Fed can shore up the uncertainty if there's any that comes present. So they did it pretty quickly last time, right? We did see the banks come down, but really how long did they come down for? About 3 days maybe. And then we had a bunch of sideways action. Now we're seeing them come down a little bit, but we're not getting the news here. So that's where we got to start paying attention to see if we get the next news clip. And that could really just, that could hit us hard, right? So we all got to be very, very open that we could get a tape bomb at any moment. But for right now, that's why people are playing tech, because they're trying to just ride the momentum, but the momentum can always flip.
And we had some comments from the Fed's Mester earlier today. She had said that she expects that rates will go a little bit higher and then hold. said that the economy still has an issue with too high inflation and doesn't share the market outlook for cutting rates this year. So that makes me kind of wonder about the tech trade, right? Like, I understand if you think rates are going to get cut, that's great for tech. But if that's not the case, that makes me wonder why tech has been strong. Now, tech weaker, noticeably weaker here today, pretty much across the board. Amazon, Netflix, Apple, like you were watching with AMD, Microsoft. Microsoft bouncing nicely, though.
Yeah, it's bouncing. I mean, it just rejected from the 286 again, so we really wouldn't want to see it get back to 286. That would be the squeeze would be coming back in the Qs, but you can see the Qs. It's trying to work its way back, but it hasn't really made its way into this level. This is where I'm kind of watching it right now, especially the 317.40 area. That's going to get that push right back into this space here, right? So I'm at the 83s now. So I'm like right here on the balance right now for Microsoft. So I'm going to hold towards like the 286 in this level right here, 286.13. Don't want to see that break because then definitely I'm immediately out. But we're looking for the VWAP rejection move where it comes right back down towards a 284.84s. That's a little bit hard to say.
See the tongue twisters, man. By the way, Buru here, we joked about this one, absolutely going ham now. Big volume. We were as high as 690. Still seems like it's got some momentum here. Wouldn't be shocked if we challenge the 744 and then maybe even this 837 stick from the pre-market. Buru still gearing here. I have no position in this. Definitely watching it, but man, this one still got some mo in it. Still got some mo. I'm gonna keep watching Buru here. Yeah, you like that name, don't you, Mitch?
I like it. I like it. I'm liking the names today. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just smiling over here from the names. That turned my morning outlook. Ryan knew I was tired this morning. That turned me around there. Just the funny names today.
Larry H in Buru at 525. Nice entry there, Larry. You're doing really well. Nice job on that curl, too. Really, you pretty much got it right at the dead bottom. See if we could take 7 out, Larry.
Q's starting to get a little heavy. I want to see if this 5-minute candle goes red. What do we got? We got about 45 seconds left on that candle.
Buru, another big push here. See if we take these highs out. Level 2 looks good. I mean, it's wild. It's all over the place, but lots of shares trading hands here, both sides.
By the way, Bob, the one contract that I have left, I'm going to wait for either 98s or I'm just going to go ahead and sell at pretty much break even on that. Also on the MES side of things, I've got a long here at about 41.2475. Stop loss is about $100 to the downside, which is approximately 3 points. Looking to take gains at about 41.2850. As it's battling VWAP, I do want this one to hold. Oh, wow. I don't know what just happened there. 10 o'clock numbers, I guess, but there's a wild swing. Maybe I should have had my limit order there. That would have hit. And that's a stop loss. Well, that was interesting. I don't know if I was on screen. I was on screen. Yeah, y'all saw that. That was wicked with the 10 o'clock numbers. What ticker is that? I was trading the MES, and right at 10 o'clock, it just went ahead and spiked up about less than a point away from my limit. And then right back down.
ISM PMI coming in March 51.2 versus 54.5. Estimate 55.1 shows contraction of the economy. Yep. And we got a slight up move, then a slight down move. So this is a little bit confusing. Be careful here, team. Definitely fast action going on.
Fast action indeed.
All right, getting a little bit of a spike now after that first down move here. I'm getting out of the Microsoft trade just in case this turns around. I'd rather take a really, really tiny hit here because it's swing trade size. It's really small. It's not even like a quarter of what we took earlier today from AMD. So the big thing is I think this could still come right back down, but this is too much indecision for me in the Qs right now. So I'd rather let the Qs determine where the hell it wants to go first off of this number and then start reacting afterwards. You can see the Qs now recovering that level that I was concerned about. And that's also a factor that shows a little bit of strength coming off of this number. And I didn't really want to let Microsoft get towards the breakout stage. So we'll see what happens on Microsoft. Back below this 285.75, I could get back in the name, but there's too much indecision right now. So I didn't want to kind of just stay in it right now, but we could still see the downside come in. See how the Qs did that huge wick to the upside? Interesting there. Getting an alert here on GE, so I want to take a look at that. Ooh, GE to the downside we go. Are we going to start taking shots on the GE? Man, I've given up some gains for GE before, but it does look pretty heavy today.
Market tried to bounce on those numbers, but turning around here, I think we might be in for some weakness here today.
Yeah, I mean, the Q's rejected the VWAP there. That's where it gets a little bit like, what are we going to do here? But there's too much right now indecision for me. So I'm on the sideline right now waiting to see what happens here so that I could take some more shots. What do you guys think out there? Bad news until they think it's good again. That's how it is right now. It's a difficult one. DXY nasty leg down on the ISM numbers. Interesting to note.
Good call, Crow. IFRX above its high here now. This was the 587 that popped above there briefly. I guess it really needs to clear out 593 here on IFRX. We'll see if we do that. This should have a 6 magnet, maybe even pop above. See if we end up doing it here. We're trying.
Gold recovering there. GOLD now back towards 1990s or 1988s. Definitely recovered off of that number. I was looking at that because you guys told me about the leg down there in the dollar. So when the dollar goes down, you know, you can look to see what happens there. But GLD trying to recover here. Q still pretty heavy. Looking to see if we can get one more rejection here in Microsoft and I can get back into the name. NVIDIA opinions. I got you. Let's take a look, Lori.
Yeah, it's brushing up against that VWAP.
Yeah, rejected the two. I had this 268.60 level. Don't know why I have that level, but it's a prior support. Was acting as resistance there. It's a nice rejection there. I actually like Microsoft now as it's starting to go lower here. All right, got the starter in Microsoft back in a little bit. Seen the Qs go lower and lower, so I like that outlook here. Qs just broke low. I'm just going to add a little bit here to Microsoft.
IFRX trying to break 6 right here. If it does,
Qs breaking lows. Let's see if we continue on the Qs lows. Remember, we double bottomed here at the 80s before. Let's see if we break through that now.
A little bit of size at 599 on IFRX. They took some of it. Let's see if they can push this over and go higher here. I would imagine that we'd pop if we do. More size at 6. They're taking it all. Not quite all of it. Took more than half of it. Let's go back up to 6. Here we go on the retest. Didn't clear it out. Is the third time the charm? Let's see. We should push right up here again. Here it is. Bang. Right through 619 high, 620 on IFRX. Awesome if you played that 6 break. Oh my God, they knifed it all the way back down to 580. Man, that was fast. Be careful. Like we've been saying, that you have gains, you're playing for any of these breaks, take them. That was nasty. What we'd really rather see here is some more push and extending away from that level. We're not getting that. They just knife it right beneath. Now, it might cross again, but that makes the trading hard. Got to be nimble on some of those. IFRX.
All right, let's see if the Q can take another leg lower here. It's right off those 80s. It's actually using it as resistance right now. Looking to see a move towards 316.50s here on the Qs. And then Microsoft go lower here. There's 316.66. See if it goes to 316.50s here.
All right, I'm going to try to go back to the well one more time. Going short the MES at futures at 41.20.25 is going to be my stop loss. So here you go. I got filled at 41.17s with 5 MES contracts. Stop loss is 41.20.25. Looking to take gains at 41.14s.
Nice rejection there. Q's coming towards that 316.50s now. Boom, there's the 50s. Let's see if we go with that leg lower there. Looking good in the Microsoft trade. Went back into it.
Come on.
NVIDIA right back down towards the lows. Hasn't hit intraday low, but got close there. Qs now to 40s.
Bro, we're a tick away. Come on. Thank the Lord. All right. Sweet. Perfect. Nice little short
Boom.
there. And the reason for that is
Nice.
because we had this little trend line break. So that's where I went ahead and got short. And then got myself a few points.
All right. Through 285, going to pay myself on Microsoft some just to get the money that we lost and some back into the gains. And then from there, I can just leave the rest to try to work and try to actually get us that nice big win. Looking to see that drop.
BZB. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see what Baba's doing. Baba was in. Oh, Baba with the retest of BWAP and the rejection. Okay. Oh, man. I had this drawn up on Square. And it just broke that trend line into the downside. We went, what's up?
We got a voicemail that is just someone that had too much soy or something, just completely raging, and every other word is a profanity. And and my teammate here picked out his favorite line from the whole rant. I don't even feel safe repeating it on the show. It's so bad.
Damn.
It's just like it's a classic. You're like, man, are you speaking?
I guess I could try. Using the button. I apologize if anything slips here, but I'll give it a shot. If you are a dumb.
I don't even know how to put that together.
Exactly. Oh God. Okay.
Q's trying to recover now. NVIDIA back to VWAP there. Looks like we could get chopped around this 80s numbers. It just keeps trying to recover there on the Qs. This is where we double bottomed before. Are we going to make it like a triple bottom looking outlook here now? Right around the same levels. Can't let Microsoft go through VWAP.
That is actually really funny.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I will try to focus here, but man, that
is really funny. I like that.
All right, now we're getting another little leg lower, and Microsoft really want to see it take out the 285s. Won't do it for right now, but looking to see if the Qs can go lower here.
Okay, so in all of that nonsense here, IFRX just went absolutely ham. We're halted here at 658. So IXRX, a big push there on volume. The volume's been expanding. Great move there. The other thing that got mentioned here in the chat, ELOX, this one a little bit thinner, but definitely halted here. It's actually been halted a number of times here today. So just be careful with that. IFRX halt, that's what we're watching. One of the other things here, Buru still looking like it's got another move in it. So we shall see.
I went ahead and took another. So I went back in the trade of MES. I went and took 2 contracts short at 41.1625. Currently, I'm down about a tick or two. You're still laughing at that.
Zunaid,
I mean, it is a great line.
Myself back together, but here's the thing.
I don't blame you. That's a great line.
I mean, here's the thing. When you work in support, you're going to get some of the most angry, vile people. The only thing that you can do to really get past that is try to have a sense of humor about it. I mean, I take my job seriously, but when you have the absolute ragers, you have to find a way to take some humor in it. And that's what I'm doing here this morning. I mean, if you guys could only hear the voicemail, I mean, oh my God.
The Q's just holding up here, man. Let's see if we get that next leg, but
market looks weak here across the board to me.
Yeah, my biggest thing is the Qs aren't really kind of giving us that outlook, though. The Qs are looking like they're trying to hold here. Almost like there's a wall of sellers here, or a wall there that won't go through right now. So I'm looking to see if we get a ramp up. The main thing, too, is that you guys see in the right hand, this is a 5-minute. Don't want to see this turn to green. This turning to green is not a good outlook. That could really quickly reverse us back. So that's why I'm keeping a close eye, right? And another thing could be is just like prior support. We don't want to see it get back through that 316.81.
Ooh.
If you're short, right? Look at Apple going lower. Like these names are weak right now. Google, that went down towards the low there. And so the big boys are weak here. Even Tesla, Nvidia, right? They are weak. So it's interesting to see the Qs trying to hang on here, trying. Let's see if it really does ramp down. That's why I'm short some of these names, because it does seem like we're coming down a little bit more, but haven't really gotten the flush down. The SPY, yeah, the SPY looks a little bit kind of worse, I think, than even the Qs. I'm right in line with that Microsoft, so I'm just keeping a really close eye on it here.
By the way, on Buru, we did flush. Miraculously, we flushed right to the 516. This actually probably should be 515. Okay, that's cool. Let me try to just edit this.
Oh, F you, Pfizer.
All right.
For real, man. It stopped me out yesterday, that Pfizer, on that little pullback, right in the 41s, and now it's back towards 42. Look at that little setup there. That was all Johnson & Johnson that gave it the lift today, but that was a frustrating one. I wanted that one. Pfizer taking off today. So whoever got that one, hey, shout outs to you guys. You guys were able to hold through that move yesterday. I wasn't able. Johnson & Johnson, that keep going? Yeah, it looks like it's trying to push right now. Healthcare names, they've been strong as of late. I'm keeping an eye on like an IBB also if you want like an ETF that could start getting a nice little uplift. I like IBB. All right, we're coming back here on Microsoft, and that's why I feel like the Qs could come back here and we could just have some more shake here. So not going to battle with this, about to get out on this right now. Not letting it get through that 286 there.
That's weird. Come on.
If it gets to that 286, I'll just get out. Q's just fighting down here. Don't want to let go. So this could just be the last little pop for Microsoft. So I'm going to give it to the 286, but anything above that 286 is just going to get me out. Apple trying to come back too. They did give another a wick down, but now trying to recover a little bit. Let's see. Bristol Myers, how's that one doing? Ooh, I talked about that one a little earlier today with Johnson & Johnson. That one, nice little move up. Look for pullbacks in healthcare names today. Those seem to be holding up. Let's go here to the Q's name, see what's going on in the sectors. Utilities, healthcare, and communication services up on the green side. Defensives in the green. Red, cyclical, technology and energy, and basic materials. Not a good outlook there if you're kind of looking to see the market keep running. It seems like the cyclical names are really starting to get hit. Basic materials, big down day again today. I think steel probably down again too. Solar's turning into the red there. Energy's red there. And just be careful. Oil was strong. Now it's starting to get in the red. We'll see if it's able to bounce back here. Big pullback after a nice little rip out the gates there for XOM. Will it just make this move right back? We'll find out. Q's still trying to use that 316.80 area as resistance, but a move back up through here. That'll get me out of that Microsoft trade, and we probably could see a little bit back towards VWAP. We'll find out. There's the little pop into the 80s. Just seems like the Q's just don't want to let go right now, but we'll find out, team. Back to VWAP is where it gets a little bit concerning.
Baba, by the way, new lows on that, down about $1.50 from when we shorted. Let's see how much our contracts are up. Still only about 26%. Interesting. I expected more, but oh well.
All right, we'll see what we get today in Microsoft. Anything above that could also squeeze us a little bit higher, right? If the Qs do come back to VWAP, that could squeeze us a little bit higher. We'll find out. Qs still just rejecting right now, but haven't really broken down through that 316.40s. That's the next level down. We'll see if we get it.
I want to go ahead and see if I can switch. Thank you. There we go. I want to see if I can go ahead and short Square at about 67.78. Stop loss for me would be approximately 67.90s.
All right, let's see if the Qs can now make that move.
I am also still short. Oh, let me go ahead and switch. I am still short 4 contracts on the MES on the future side at 41.1575. So here's how I see it, right? This is a 15-minute candle. Let me go ahead and move some of these away. There we go. Make it look cleaner. This is a trend line that I had drawn earlier. You got the break of it. We went short. We scalped it. We made some money. Then here's the retest of that trend line. And now we're coming back down. So what I'm hoping is that was a retest. It'll fail to pop above, and then we'll just continue making our way towards 41.10. You can see I'm short 4. I'm going to cover 3 at 41.1050. Then the remaining 1 contract, I'm going to move my stop loss to break even and hope to go ahead and capture the move to around 41.05 or so later on today. But first step, though, is to go ahead and capture gains at 41.1050. Stop loss is 41.2025.
Qs bottoming again there. Just seems like they're holding up. We'll see if we get that downside action.
I mean, it's been all downside action. So it's holding in there. Did he just say that in dip? Yeah, I didn't even realize.
Hopefully everything's all right.
Yeah,
you do have...
And I pulled myself together, Zunaid, so we're good. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. You do have... you do have 407.50s that are holding on here on the SPY, right? So if you're looking to go short, may want to wait for this close here, whether it's the 5 or the 10, whatever you like to play, and then a retest is where you'd get it. But nonetheless, I am still waiting for a yick of a flush to the downside. Yeah, the VIX definitely does need to stay above 20 if you're looking to go long. It needs to break 20 if you are short. So you can see here on the VIX, thank you for calling it out so we can pay attention to it. 20 resistance, 20 resistance. What is it going?
And every time it gets down to that 1850, it seems to bounce there too.
Yep. Bingity bop bop.
Looks like we're in for some more selling today. That would be my read early on here. All major indices looking weak.
Brian asking, which percent do you prefer to cut your contracts at? So I more so cut my contracts based on where the price is. So like, for example, for BABA, right? By the way, nice $2 move. Let's see what those contracts are up now. They're up about 40%. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and take those. Give me a sec here. Especially because I don't know how this Q trade is going to work out. Replace with market order. All right, I did go ahead and get filled on my BABA short. Give me a sec to come back to my... So, for example, I took those puts, I took those contracts short when I was around 100. And for me, I knew my stop loss was a crack of about 150. So in my head, and based on the Greeks and things like that, I'm like, okay, you know what? 20% is where I'm going to get out. But truly what's getting me out is the chart action, because that's what I'm getting in and out of. And so that's why sometimes with a stock that's spready, it can be a little tough to trade it. But I'm more so getting in and getting out based on, I would say 75%, 80% on where the chart is, where the price action is on the charts, and the other 20% based on percentage gains and losses. But you want to make sure you get contracts that are liquid so those spreads don't really kill you there. Let me see where I did go ahead and get filled on my last BABA short.
While you're doing that, IFRX open coming back in towards the VWAP might have a bounce there at VWAP.
237 is my last fill on BABA. We got those at about 166, I believe it was. But BABA new LOs. All right, we are also short on Square. So look at that. It did go ahead and test VWAP just like we anticipated it to. We were patient. We got the price we wanted. Now do we go ahead and get the profits we want on Square as well?
Qs don't want to break this 316.50, man. There is some type of buyer that's just not letting it go. There's some kind of algorithm in here that just don't want the Qs to break, man. It just seems like it. So be careful.
Well, it's early, Mitch. It's been weak all morning. We've had one bounce attempt that lasted literally, what, 6 minutes, and it returned to the lows and set new lows. So, I mean, I think we might still break through here. We might just need another test at that downside move.
Yeah, what I mean by that is that sometimes you have like a way that you're holding the market up, right? And what I mean by that is it seems like there's some type of algorithm out there that it's not letting it go through the bids. It just keeps like layering every time we're coming down. So I think that could be someone that might be stuck in some tech trades and they're just trying to hold up the market a little bit. Of course, this is just kind of talk right now, but it seems like it. And I'm looking to see if we're going to get that fast move. But look at the 5-minute chart on the Qs. You got 3 candles like all around the same levels, same thing that we got last time. And so that just shows me that, you know, we're not getting elevator moves down. We're getting what they call stair step moves down. So
I did go ahead and get stopped out on my MES trade.
Not big candles. Big candles.
Rando asking a really good question here, actually. Mitch, have you ever used Bookmap? It shows you all the level 2 orders graphically, and you can pick out what you're talking about. So, Mitch, I'll have you answer that. I've actually never used this myself in like my own trading, but I've looked into this, and actually, let me know if any of you folks really like Bookmap. Let me know. That would be something to think about in terms of Benzinga Pro development going forward.
That's actually interesting. Honestly, I have not.
Check out Bookmap. I'd be interested in your opinion on that, Mitch.
That's an interesting concept. It's just so much going on. I just could not comprehend it.
I mean, this is my kind of style. I like it. I'm going to take a look into it. All right, guys. I'm not going to make too much comments right off the hop.
Because, yeah.
I don't really know what the hell is going on there, but
hippity hop.
It does seem interesting. Seems interesting in what you're talking about. So let's go to like the 15 minutes. See if this turns into like just a big wick down here. And that would show me more and more buying pressure on those 316.50s. I'm just waiting to see if Microsoft is going to give it or not. And if the Qs come back, it ain't going to happen. So it's a battle. It's like yesterday where it was just kind of like, then NVIDIA came back, then didn't want to go. NVIDIA came back. Didn't want to go. NVIDIA came back. We got to be careful on that, team. Level 2 data is really expensive. I don't know if we'll get level 2 data, but you guys don't know how expensive level 2 data is. Squat.
Curtis the Conqueror saying that would be a game changer for Benzinga fellas. Level 2 data. It's good feedback there.
Key there is that you normally get that from your brokerage, right? And,
yeah, I'd be interested.
Level 2
advantage of that.
Again, traditional level 2, you're right, but Bookmap's a little bit different.
Bookmap level 2, yes. I thought that's what he was talking about.
You guys are saying TOS users get free access to it. That would be something to look into.
You see the fight in the Qs, man. If they just let go through that 316.40, my Microsoft trade's in the green. That's why I'm sticking in it. But man, I'll tell you, it's a battle right here between the Bulls and the Bears.
Call me stubborn. I went ahead and went short for MES
Never.
contracts once again. Short at 41.2150 as it was coming up to VWAP. That's the yellow line that you're seeing there. Stop loss is kind of clear for me. It's the 41.25. What's interesting is going to be if I'm going to be greedy or not. We'll see.
IFRX trying to come into VWAP here. Let's watch if it pushes away. You might get a potential trade there.
All right, we got a rejection from the 316.81s again. It went to like 82 this time, but rejected again. Let's see if the Qs can finally take out the 316.40 area and go lower here. So here's the trade team. We've been looking at it for a long time now. Let's see what happens. How's Apple? Is that lower? Looks like it's trying to go lower here. We'll see if it actually gets the break. NVIDIA, has that made back some of its losses? No, it has not. It's on the lows there, just hanging out. AMD. Come on, AMD. Let's go lower. I won't be mad at you. What else we got going on in the markets today? Johnson & Johnson, of course, the health names were strong. That's pulled back here. So we'll see if that holds here. Is this an opportunity or not? Pfizer, we saw, was really strong. Lilly having a really nice day there. Merck continued higher. So drug manufacturers, I talked about it this week. On Monday, my show is literally titled For the Healthcare Names. So we'll see what happens as that continues to go higher. Healthcare not having a bad day. IBB is another way that I could look at that. Or XLV, right? You can do the spiders, right? Look how the spiders are strong today. XLV, look at the daily chart. Look how this is starting to get strong. This is an area that I really like right now.
Those banks that went green, some of them are back red now here, but only marginally. Like Goldman Sachs, JPM, both red here. Those both popped up earlier.
The short on the MES off of VWAP worked out successfully. Went ahead and locked in those gains of about 4 to 5 points on the short side. Money.
All right, there we go. Now we're getting that Q move here. Let's go. All right, going to pay myself on Microsoft a little bit there. Paid myself on Microsoft. Now can let the half position just ride down through these levels. Let's see if we really get that smackdown. Been battling with this Microsoft short. Now the Q's finally giving us a little bit of a crack here. Looking for a bigger one than that. So let's see what happens. AMD, let's go. Another leg lower. Let's get it. See if we can get to the 92s on a big cut. See the Qs, man. there's something battling there on the Qs.
FRGT curling back towards the highs.
There we go. Now we're getting a little bit of some speed up. Did Apple go lower there? Apple trying to get to the new intraday lows. We'll see if it gets to that. NVIDIA, yeah, new intraday lows for NVIDIA there. Nice VWAP rejections today. Look at that VWAP rejection there for NVIDIA today. Nice little VWAP fades. UNH. Yeah, UNH. Healthcare plans. I like Cigna. Cigna's the one that I'm looking at, team. I like how this is off the bottom. You know what? I actually like this for a swing trade today. Let me get a small little filler. See if I can get a little pullback from this high. Because you see how there's like multiple highs here? If I can get a pullback to like 260s, I like Cigna. I'll look to see if I can get that pullback. But CVS could be another one to go after in this space. I like that outlook there. That's another one that I've been looking at. There's 316 on the Qs. 284.70s now for Microsoft. So as we keep going lower, I can just pay myself for Microsoft.
Anyone know why Polestar's down 7.8% today?
I would just say Tesla's going lower, EV's going lower.
Just kind of in sympathy. That's kind of what I was getting at. I didn't see any other news for it.
Yeah, and then one thing to note is like Ford was strong yesterday, but look how Ford is today. Choo-pew!
Big volume too on Polestar here today.
Yeah, I think, Tesla tells a lot in this industry. When Tesla's strong, I look for EVs to be strong. If Tesla's not strong and it starts pulling back significantly, I don't look for many EVs to get strong at all. And I also think the same way for lithium players sometimes. Like when Tesla starts getting weak, look what happens to lithium players. Look at this middle chart. Look at LAC today. Look at MP. This is a trend that I see happen often. All right, really not getting the continuation we're looking for in the Qs there.
Take care, Judge.
It seems like a slow leak, but look, bouncing right back. Let's see if we start using this level as resistance. which is kind of like the prior 316.35s or 40s. Let's see if we use that as resistance. Just keep working our way down, legging our way down. But it's a stair step down. It doesn't seem like we're getting that like just whoosh.
SNES, good call, good shout there, Crow. SNES curling back up here. It actually did move through the VWAP. This actually lined up pretty nicely with the intraday high here, popped through it. I'd actually wait for this to set up for a new trade here, but interesting. Good to see this buying volume here.
All right, we'll see what else is going on. It's been a good day for me, just continuing to work on the short side. It's the dark side, baby.
Look at are the penny players playing Jewel today?
Jules
18 to 44 so far. Good Lord.
There's always something, right, going on in the penny world. Looking to see if the Qs just continue to stair step lower here. Going to work Microsoft and AMD. And it's been that type of day. We'll look to see if we can continue going here. Cigna with a little bit of a pullback, but not much. Not giving me too big of an opportunity. And so I'm staying on the sideline right now. But healthcare looking good on the day. LabVIEW could be a way that maybe we could play this on the intraday, right? This is biotech, though. Not necessarily the big boys, but doesn't look too bad here on this pullback here. Off to 475s, maybe back towards 491s, maybe 5 on the day. Take a look at the daily chart here. It doesn't look the best, at least the daily chart. All right, we'll see if the Qs can just keep working its way down and just keep leaking so that we can make more profits in Microsoft and AMD. I'm glad I didn't get too far off the tech trade today because it still seems like it's the best trade, tech to the short side, at least right now. So that's the way I'm going to keep playing it today and not going to go too crazy, right? We could always get little bounces, but we'll see what happens. XLE back to VWAP. Let's take a look there. XLE, yeah, coming back there. Let's take a look at the oil names to see if they come back. XOM was at the bottom there, multiple bottoms right around the 114.64s. So that looks a little bit strong. Oxy was really weak as of late. Chevron was really weak. MPC was the weakest one, and look how that bounced back today. Valero bounced back today. So I think it was Shannon with Valero. There you go. I see you, Shannon. You see, I didn't even have to look. And then I looked at the chat, and what do I see in the chat? Woohoo, Valero for Shannon. Shout out to you, Shannon. That was a good, hey, you went after it. Good call out. All right, we'll see what else is going on here, but we are starting to see some oil names coming back, and Microsoft now lower, 284.60s. Let's go. Let's start working this. Next levels for us to look for on this is going to be, we're right at it, around the 285s. But we broke through that. Next level, 284.19. So let's see if we can get into the 284, like 25 area and take some profit and just keep working Microsoft down. Valero still going higher.
Valero,
AMD,
I mean,
92s.
Yeah, to me, it looks like we're probably going to these mid 130s, maybe even 140 next here. There looks to be more room to the upside here on Valero.
It's a reversal play. So when you get those reversals, they can give you a little lift here. I like the Chevron move above 69s, risk off of 168.50s here. Doesn't look too bad as it's trying to recover, and it has been below the VWAP multiple times here. I can see the support coming into play right about here. I have to risk off the 72s here. I don't mind it actually for a day trade here. And we've been doing really well in the swing. So let's take a little shot on the day trade side here. See if I can get 90 here.
Wally asking about McDonald's. McDonald's looking good here, looking like it's really breaking out here above that 281 level. This is not something that I really follow or buy, the stock or the product really, but looking pretty good here on a potential breakout. I would say if you've been playing this from the consolidation area, definitely trim some of this position and let your winner run on that.
Long some Chevron. Long some Chevron there, 168.98. Didn't hesitate to take it. I wanted 90s, but I was like, you know what? To 8 cents, the smaller position size. Let's try to work it. Let's do this. Let's go for Chevron to the upside off the support of the 168.72s. And let's see it try to get back there towards the 170. AMD going lower here. That's looking great for me, almost to the 92 spots. As we get towards like the 92.15 area, I don't mind taking a little bit more even on this position and just continue to work it down. So I'm going to look to take about, let's do like 92.18s. As we get to that level, I'll take a little bit more and leave the remainder of the position here. Just trying to work it down, man. Chevron, nice little move to start. Now I just want to see it start holding 169 on pullbacks. Putting the limit out there. Boom. Got it. Let's go right there with that action on AMD. We got this, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Well done. Well done. Nice trade.
I was going to say, are we going to get a seat dance, Mitch?
Boom. Let's go. Let's go.
We're going to get a what now?
A seat dance where he dances in his seat and does the same.
Oh, man. This is
Been a
one of
while.
those days.
I love it. I love it. The fact that we haven't turned that into a GIF.
Yeah, I don't know how we haven't. IFRX breaking through its VWAP now on volume, selling volume.
Let's go, baby. All right, not a bad one there, man. Watching Chevron on this pullback and Microsoft going lower too. About to take some more profit in Microsoft. That's looking good for me here. Let's keep this working. You know what? Not going to get greedy here. Taking some profits right there in Microsoft. Let's go. Let's go. Paying myself on the way down. Now still have about, like, let's say a little less than a quarter. So I'd say about like a fifth of the position left there in Microsoft to just work. So we'll see what happens there. Chevron did give me a little bit of a bounce here, just watching to see if it doesn't go below this 168.72. But we'll look to see if oil can go a little bit higher today with these oil names bouncing back.
Qs look like they're going to move lower here.
Let's hope they do. I'm still short 2 contracts on the MES. And my stop loss is still 41.2350. I did go ahead and move my take profit to 41.0250. I've got a call here in about 6 minutes. So I'm gonna grab some water. I'm gonna head out, but I'll see you fine folks tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that was a good one today, and definitely we're going to be wrapping up soon here, getting you guys all over to Benzinga Live. That's going to be coming up next. Don't go anywhere, team. We got a good one for you coming up, starting at 11 a.m. AB is going to start a little bit early. Is it 11:30? I think he scheduled it at 11:30. I think he told me 11. So let me double check on that. You know, my man AB puts a little curveball into things sometimes. So let me find out.
He does love his curveballs and his St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, he does. All right, watching that Chevron trade, it might stop me out here. It's pulling back towards those levels right now. Hand on the trigger to get out here. Starting to recover that level. Needed to look to see if it can actually get back there. Doesn't look good here for Chevron, but I needed to recover the 72s here. Hands literally on the trigger. There's 70s coming back. We rejected the move right now. Watching that bid action right now. Microsoft, nice move there. Q's going lower, seems like.
Whole market feels like it wants to go lower, to be honest. It felt like that all morning. It's just taken a while to actually do it. Q's looking to put in new lows right here if they can snap. By the way, PYXS, this has actually been on the list the past couple of come on. This has been on the list the past couple of days here. Looks like we're actually running into a wall right here, right? 390 looks to be the spot here. PYXS actually looking fairly decent here today. Take a look at the 15-minute chart, this 390 level. Maybe we can trade back up to a mid-4 handle. If we can end up getting going here. PYXS looking interesting.
Chevron. I took a hit on that one, team. Took a hit on Chevron there. Down there towards the 55s. Got out there, but definitely took a hit there on Chevron. So not all perfect today. You guys see it. Took a little hit on the day trade action. Going to keep riding the Microsoft and the AMD to see if we can just keep grinding lower. AMD almost through 92. All right, let me check in with AB here.
PYXS trying, by the way. It's trying. See if we can get above this 390 level. We just had a nice little pop up to it. Couldn't break it, but we're certainly looking like we're going to try.
I had a feeling. Yeah, it is going to start at 11. AB misscheduled the timing there, but 11. AB will be on with us just in a few minutes, team. Stick around. Smash it up, team. Let's see what else is going on as AMD goes lower here. Microsoft going lower here. Can the Qs just keep coming down today? Seems like it right now. Man, Microsoft paying me well today. Glad about that one. Just going to continue to work on Microsoft lower and lower here. 283s showing up. Remember, we took some 284.30s, and this one has been a nice one today. Going lower on Microsoft. And where could we see it kind of stop? Well, we're coming towards this daily support around 283s. That's going to be the next stop. If we get to 283s, I'll take majority of it out and maybe leave the tiniest amount to see if we can just keep running. But that's just because it's just paying me so well. And that could be a nice little bounce spot on the daily chart. Qs now at the 315.38s. Looks like the tech trade. Big hit.
I think we got more downside here, Mitch.
I mean, I've been talking, I've been trying to be on both sides sometimes. And I think it's something that's very hard to be, but timing is what it's all about there, is that we got to sometimes play the momentum and then also be able to play when we see the momentum ending to the downside. And that's one thing that has been very hard for me, but I've been trying to get better at. And I feel like on this tech trade, I've done pretty well on it. Been looking for it to get strong, and it was strong, but then also looking for the flip. And here it is, team. It seems like we definitely got it today. Look at the Qs now giving that elevator move as we come to the 315. Microsoft down to 383.50 area. I'm going to look for another little leg towards 383s, but I'm going to take majority of it off of that too. And so let's just keep working it. All right. You know what? Let's see what happens here. Looking for another little leg here on Microsoft. Q's kind of slowing up there, the 315s. All right, we'll see what we can get there. Slowed up a little bit. Could take all of AMD off if I'd like to. Let's take a look at the daily chart. This is where I was kind of targeting down towards the 92s. Joel said I could get to 90 today, but I don't know if I want to go off of Joel's outlook or my own. So I'm probably going to take the rest of AMD here. Let's go ahead and just take the profits. Can't be mad about that AMD trade. It's been a monster. It's going to be about 4.69% top shares. Let's take it there. 92.06 top exit there for AMD. Not mad at all on this AMD trade. It's been a good one. Let's just say. Can't be mad about that. And willing to take the profits. And then now that really gets the pressure off me for, like, let's say the Microsoft trade. I can just let this continue to work because I've had a really killer day on AMD. All right, we'll see what else is going on. How's that Apple trade? I know that one looked like it went a little lower there. Google had good news and still came down. NVIDIA getting hit with that Google news. That one got hit a little bit further than Google, of course. Tesla, how's that doing? Down now towards 186. How are we doing in some other tech names? We'll take a look around and see what else is going on. Qualcomm was one that I was looking to see if that one was going to come down today. That one actually hasn't gone down much. But yesterday it got really hit hard. Did the oil names continue higher? I got caught on that turn there in XOM, and look at that move on XOM. It came back up and right back down. Be careful in those Valero, as it did shoot up, but now it's starting to pull back. We'll see what happens in oil.
And, you know, one thing to consider here, Mitch, is that AI seemed to be one of the things that was holding tech up, right? Like we had a whole bunch of those AI names. We had obviously stuff related to some of the bigger caps like Microsoft and even IBM in some cases. And it seems like since that short report, it's really kind of come back in a little bit. AI names. I mean, if you take a look at AI here today, just ticker AI, we're actually down another 15% here on AI. So just not really looking good. That seems to be, you know, bringing tech in. That seems to be pulling on it.
It's all good, Hawaii, if you're making moves. But that's what we want to hear, man. And don't worry about talking too much in the chat sometimes. The chat's there to, you know, keep us going. And you guys in the chat, we love you guys for talking about it. But like always, work on your trading. That's the most important. That's what we're here for in the long run. And keep pushing forward, Hawaii, out there. Definitely one that I had talked about, man, it worked to the key, Ryan, that I didn't take was Intel pop to 30 and then look for the short. This thing popped at like 32.99. Right on the kisser. Yeah. I was looking for that little pop short. Stocks do this often where it's hanging out on support in the pre-market. I look where the resistance is. And so I'm looking for the stock to pop into that resistance and then just completely reject. That's this move right here on Intel. It happens often, especially when you can see it on like the 15-minute. And usually what it is that it's a prior support that's now becoming resistance. So that's another reason why it rejects there. A lot of times it was a prior support. Now it's going to become the resistance in the play. And you can see on that Intel down move. That was an interesting one.
Speaking of previous support and resistance, prior support and resistance, excuse me. If you take a look at Lululemon, remember we called that earlier here in the show on a big run up. Well, guess what? It ran up to that 370 level that we talked about, immediately reversed here. 370 definitely seems to be the spot to short this here. I have actually added volume profile to this chart, which is what this indicator on the side here is. But yep, to me, 370 clearly looks like a short spot here for Lululemon. That trade so far working again here today.
Yeah, I like that outlook. I would look for a pullback here towards 368s to get short off of the 370s. I'd have to risk about 2 points in that outlook, but to me, it doesn't seem bad, Ryan. And I hear what you're seeing there. And to me, similar play, right? Pop to resistance, then drop. Pop to resistance. And what was this stock doing in the pre-market? Just hanging out on support. Hang out on support, pop to resistance. It makes it look really good. Like when we first see this first candle, what are we thinking? Ooh, nice day for Lulu. And then it just drops. That's very difficult to deal with. I'll tell you right now, as a trader, it's very difficult to deal with a trade like that. But I can tell you, I've seen this pattern happen.
Yeah, and shout out to our community, right? We've been talking a lot about a Lulu short. 370 has been identified as a potential short entry level several times.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Mitch, I'm going to get rolling with the rest of my day here. We'll be back at this again tomorrow. Remember, no trading on Friday, no market on Friday. So we'll be back tomorrow to start the Masters holiday as the golf tournament starts as well.
All right. We'll see what else is going on. Q's going lower. Have a good one, Ryan. Always good to have you, my friend. Ryan's getting out of here. I'm wrapping up in just about a couple of minutes here. We're giving you guys over to 11 a.m. as we'll get AB joining us and on Benzinga Live. So I'll send you guys over to that in just a second. Don't go anywhere, team. Still watching the cues. Stair step down. I'm just glad I was calling for the tech turnaround. It seems like we're getting it here. Not looking too bad on the day. All right. Tech turnaround seems like it's happened. We'll see if that can continue going lower there as we're seeing that get the flip. And I think a lot of people will probably be talking about this today, right? At least one thing is, if you guys were watching Start Swing Trading, we were talking about this 2 days ago. And yeah, it slowly started happening, but I took more and more shots as it started showing up. And now is the day where, it comes to, it actually comes to fruition. And here's the day where we could be booking the profits versus how most people are, where they're going after it today. I think it's always important. I'm never going to be 100% right. The only thing I can do is point to flags. I talk about them. They're flags. Flags means just pay attention to this. Doesn't mean necessarily to trade this, right? So you guys out there, like always, do your best. Always take everything I say with some grain of salt. But the idea here is to put it on your radar. Just think about it, right? You do the research and look after I mention it. And then see, do you see the turnaround? One thing that I started seeing is NVIDIA started being weak first. And that was one that I started seeing get weak, right? And we can take a look at this on a Monday's perspective, right? On Monday, it was pretty weak. It did this kind of move where it jumped up, came all the way down to like 274, bounced back to the resistance, and then really started getting hit. If you see here, ever since that move back to the 280s, it's been getting hit. And you're seeing that downside action just leak through. Once I started seeing that downside action really start leaking through, that's where I started seeing it. AMD started looking like toppy top. I could see kind of more of a head and shoulders pattern on this AMD outlook. And you guys can see it here. Before I got the big down day, you can see the head over here at the top, left shoulder, right shoulder. Was looking to see kind of the bearish signs, saw the rejection yesterday, and then was looking for the cut down through the support. It's exactly what we got today. Took profits towards 92.06. I'm happy about that trade. It's a good trade on AMD. All right, we'll see what else is on Microsoft. If this can continue going lower, 283.30s here. Let's go ahead and try to pay ourselves a little bit as this comes a little bit lower. All right, let's see what we get here. All right, taking some profits there on Microsoft. Not going to be too mad about that one. You can't be mad about taking profits on it. Now up almost about a percent on this, but it's giving me some good gains. I took a little bit more sizing on this as it kept like kind of battling there in the VWAP area. And you guys saw me, I stepped out on this one early, got back in it. That's where it gets difficult and things that I've been trying to improve on my day trading action. You guys know I talk about my weaknesses and strengths. We'll see what happens in these stocks. Crocs. Is it time to short the Crocs? Oh, Jay out there. Jay, is it time? I see topping action there. I see topping in that 130s. Is it time, Jay? All right. What else you guys got out there? Appreciate the love in the chat. Hey, thank you guys. Like always, I'm never going to be 100% right. And it's really not about the calls, really. What more along is if I can even just show you guys like kind of warning signals, and then you guys can make your own calls, and it saves you guys money, or it just gives you guys learning lessons. That's why I do it for. Got to pay it forward, man. What are you guys looking at now, team? If you guys got any tickers you guys want to take a look at before I get out of here, now's your chance as we're starting to see some downside action and a little bit of a bounce there. Let's see the Qs. Qs finally bouncing. Yeah, around the 315s. We could come back towards 316.81. So just be careful with pop backs, right? That could definitely happen too. So if I wanted, I could play a reversal action in Soxel here from the 1550s back to like 1590s. But I'm not doing that, team. That would be a little bit too crazy. Or Raz, you could look for pullbacks on SOXS, maybe coming back to the VWAP, 1850s, 1855 seemed to make sense for me. as it's up here towards 19 almost. Got there through 19s. Let's see if it gets back through that level. WWE. WWE still going higher? Yeah, still going higher on that one. And Walmart gave out some pre-announcements today, reiterated the guidance. That's going higher. That's having a decent day in department stores or in discount stores. So if you're looking at what's pushing discount stores higher, like Costco, Nick, it's this Walmart reiteration. Costco back through 500. And that's the one outlook that I saw today. It got back through that 500. I kind of like this pullback in Costco right now. Nice little bottoming action around the 498s. I would let it test 498s one more time, but you can see it right now. The bidding action is right at 498.01s, and it can make a move back up through 500. We'll see what happens on that one. Or was this just a pop that gets shorted? That's one thing to keep in mind too. Big level right above it towards the 500. Is it going to get through that, or is it going to reject back towards the 490s? That's what you got to be asking yourself if you're a Costco trader. I kind of like it back through 500, but of course, it could still crack down and come to the 490s. Does look interesting because of the recent pop, but now we need to see the volume come back in through the 499s. Gold. GOLD. Let's see what happens there. That's pulled back. Hasn't had as strong as a day as it had yesterday, right? But it's okay. As long as it comes back to pullback levels and holds 1950 area, I would call as the support right now. From there, you get another layer of support in the 1940s. So somewhere in between there, I'd look for reversal on this stock today. So in the 50s, in the 40s, somewhere between there, and then coming back up towards the 20 by the end of the day, wouldn't look too bad in gold. IFRX. Take a look there. Cheaper name, up to $5 today. Did get a pop to $7 just recently. It's a healthcare name. You got about 1 pop, 2 pops, 3 pops. Maybe you get one more, but I don't know if you're going to get through that $7. And you can see on the daily just how much this is pulling back right now. You got to be careful on a name like this. And where do I see resistance before? Right at 7. So it could potentially not even get back up there. 550 is an area that I'd be concerned now. I'd want to see it break through 550 first on the upside before I'm going crazy to the long side. Right now, it just rejected that 550 hold at VWAP. Let's see if it gets back through there later in the day and makes that run to 7. But right now, it is on the pullback. Splunk, SPLK. Ooh, AMD now lower. Software names getting hit. This looks like a VWAP fade type of look where we get that first downside action. It comes right back to VWAP and then takes the hit to the downside. Doesn't look too bad there in Splunk. All right, team, that's going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch me later today. Start swing trading. That's where I talk about these swing trades. That's where I take a look at what sectors are moving, the industry. If you guys want to follow rotation, you guys want to see what stocks are moving, you want to hear about trade ideas, you want to create watch lists, Start Swing Trading is where you guys want to be. 3 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern every single weekday. Don't miss that. I'll see you guys later today. And who knows, maybe I bring a real special guest for you guys today. You guys come check it out. I'll see you guys a little bit later today. And of course, AB coming up next. Don't go anywhere. And that's where I bring on these great guests. We had Scott Charts on Monday, right? We've had Christian Fromhertz on there. You guys don't want to miss it. Start Swing Trading. Now to bring you guys over to AB's show, Benzinga Live, starting up right now.